wrestling in the world today. This is the American Wrestling Federation. My name is Mick Karsh. My co-host is Terry Taylor.
We're going to have Tony Atlas, Mr. USA in action. Nails and the Warlord as a tag team. Hercules will be here with Adnan LKC. Superfly in action. Luscious Tommy Rich. Michael P.S. Hayes will be here in action.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the ring we go with Billy Anderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first from Buffalo, New York, weighing 242 pounds, Ken McGuire.
Well, there's one of your favorites, Terry, Kenny McGuire.
One of the few people I know who's well-rounded. 50-inch chest, 50-inch waist, 50-inch hips.
280 pounds, Tony Atlas.
And you talk about a direct opposite as far as physical conditioning is concerned. Look at that man right there. Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, the pride of Roanoke. He comes to the ring, and what a tremendously popular man.
They're scared to boo him. Look at the body on that guy. Well, I've heard a guy say before he got the largest arms in the world, 24 inches. I'd love to have him do a pose now with Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
He stands behind him. You won't see him. Tony, Mr. USA Atlas. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the American Wrestling Federation, the greatest wrestling promotion in the world today, and you are looking at one of the reasons why.
Kenny McGuire?
Oh, please. Not Kenny McGuire. Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. As big as he looks on television, when you see this man up close and in person, you can't believe how huge he is.
Kenny McGuire.
Him too.
He looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Now, I'd like to say that he's a tremendous athlete, but I don't want to ruin my credibility. He obviously, has some sort of credentials to get in here, but I'd love to see his win-loss record.
Well, he's begging off right now. Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, very methodical.
Yeah, did you see when McGuire hit? The rope stopped him from rolling.
You got to lay off of poor Kenny McGuire. You know, he's not in the greatest condition in the world, but as you said, give him some credit for being in there. He's a tough kid. This day, perhaps, a little bit overmatched with Tony Atlas.
Well, Tony Atlas has got a 20-inch difference between his chest and his waist, as does McGuire. His waist is 20 inches bigger than his chest.
Oh, you just won't leave him alone.
Well, let me look at it, though. He doesn't have his feet under him. He doesn't have that wrist lock on. And a guy like Tony Atlas has got a 13-inch wrist. That's bigger than most people's biceps.
And look at that crowd response. Another packed house to watch the American Wrestling Federation, and they love Tony Atlas.
Yeah, well, you also know that a lot of muscle heads, I go to every gym from Boise to Bangkok, and they all tell me, they say, oh, I can be a wrestler because I can bench press 300 pounds. Well, Tony Atlas made that transition from being a 600-pound bencher to a strong guy to being a professional wrestler, and a great one at that. Now, see, that lower back almost gave up trying to lift McGuire.
Well, I don't know what Kenny McGuire's announced weight was, but he is a rather bulbous individual. There's no question about that. And why in the world those pink tights? For heaven's sakes, why pink when you look like Ken McGuire? That's a good question. Why ask why? And he just ran into a brick wall in the person of Tony Atlas. Mr. USA, one thing about Tony Atlas, he loves this profession. Not only does he train diligently, he loves being a professional wrestler.
Yeah, he does, and I think that's why this match is going as long as it has. Tony hadn't tried to beat this guy. This may just be a tune-up. I don't know. Great hip block. Kind of an arm drag. He made sure he wasn't underneath the bulbous one as he went over. That could be like a splash and end the match right there.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the American Wrestling Federation, this is the rounds system. 3 4-minute rounds. If nobody has scored a victory in that time, the referee checks his scorecard, makes the final decision, and right now, as you said, Tony Atlas, not in any hurry to defeat Ken McGuire. He's just taken one body part after another and tearing him limb from limb, basically.
Yeah, and a lot of guys are not used to this round system. They understand they have 4 minutes, but once you get in there, if you're used to wrestling for a longer time, you may not know to kick in the afterburners. You may not know to pop the clutch and tear a guy like McGuire up so you can get out of there and have a beverage of your choice.
Well, no question about that. The American Wrestling Federation utilizing the round system. We're down to 30 seconds. Let's talk about Paul Elperstein just a little bit. Here's a man who has thrown out fines to the likes of Mr. Hughes, to Nails, to Ron Powers. He means business.
Yeah, the first inaugural $5,000 fine 3 weeks ago. Then he got $6 grand the other week. And we know some guys who are pretty unhappy about it, but I think Alperstein has made himself pretty clear. Great background. Oh, man, bad landing there by Pontefract. Tony Atlas right back to the arm. There's a lot of guys unhappy about it. End of the round. Go ahead, Carson.
And I'll tell you something. One of those men who's not very happy is Mr. Hughes with Ken Wrestling.
Mr. Hughes, I vividly recall how upset you were last week being fined $3,000, but just remember, I wasn't the one that fined you.
Not a problem.
Wait a minute, you're telling me it's not a problem? You paid the fine, you're not worried?
No, I didn't pay a fine. I hired me a man to take care of my legal matters, and that's this man right here.
Oh, no, you gotta be kidding.
That's right, Mr. Hughes. You don't have to worry about anything from now on. I shall take care of your financial problem. Money is no object to the Arab people. Gold and harem is all under your consideration.
What can I say, ladies and gentlemen? Now the Sheik adds Mr. Hughes under his tent. Mick and Terry, back to you.
Well, that's certainly not good news for anybody in the world of professional wrestling. You know, the American Wrestling Federation clearly states you don't pay a fine, you don't get back into the ring, and obviously Sheik Adnan LKC came up with the cash for Paul Alperstein. Hughes is back in.
Yeah, I think that kind of negates the fine deal. I think Alperstein's going to have to look at that a little bit differently because old Moneybag said he's going to take care of it. Now, here's something I thought I'd never say, thought I'd see. Oh, Kenny McGuire working over old Mr. USA. Oh, it must be the second win. See the size of those shoulders and chest?
Well, clearly you run Tony Atlas' head into the turnbuckle. He does a better job himself. It doesn't bother him one bit. And now, Kenny McGuire.
See McGuire waving goodbye to him?
That was just a stunt. This guy is in real trouble right now. Once Tony Atlas turns it on, you are in deep trouble.
Speaking of deep trouble, I mean, this couple weeks ago, this kid wore pink out here against Sergeant Slaughter. You'd think he'd learned his lesson, but no.
Well, that should have been the telling tale right
Ken
there.
says he can't press him. I'm betting you right now.
All right, I say he can. Bring it on. He did it.
I knew he could.
Come up with the sawbuck, pal. Tony Atlas manhandling Ken McGuire. Hello, Ottawa. 2. This one is over.
Yeah, right there. That was a great finishing maneuver for Tony Atlas. It'd be murder one if McGuire did that to somebody. Here we go back again. I told Carson could press him, and there he does. Great move there, great strength. I don't know how he did it without a weight belt and wraps. Boom, takes off there, beautiful splash, bang. Tony Atlas is your winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, we're going to be back with more great American Wrestling Federation action. Stay with us. We're coming right back at you.
Discover unbeatable savings on thousands of home furnishing items like this 3-piece dinette, only $88. It's the Super Saver Sale, now at Value City Furniture. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Oh, my hair says it all. It's fine, limp, and lifeless.
My problem is thinning hair. I need something that'll make my hair look and feel fuller.
That's why it's so hard to believe how easy it was to get thicker, fuller hair.
I tried it, it worked, and it even says what it does right on the bottle.
Thicker, fuller hair.
The name says it all. Available at these fine stores.
Don't miss this limited time offer from Bell Atlantic.
It's your office. Don't answer it. I'm not done yet. Okay. Have you seen Bobby?
Caller ID, a phone service you can use to customize your phone to fit the way your family lives. It shows who's calling before you answer. Call now, sign up, and get a $27.50 credit you can use to pay for your display unit.
Please tell me that Mike called.
There's more. Your caller ID display unit keeps a record of up to 25 callers and when they called, so you'll know who's calling your family.
I knew he'd call.
There's that number again.
And you'll know where your family is calling from.
Oops, I forgot to tell you. Bobby's at the Fishers.
That's where he is.
Oh, Mom, it's your office.
Yes, Mr. Bigelow.
Call now, sign up for caller ID from Bell Atlantic, and get a $27.50 credit that can pay for your display unit. And hurry, it's a limited time offer. Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
Last summer, I went to summer camp. We went to the most beautiful place I've ever been. There I found things to do and things to learn, and a brand new best friend. My mom.
The Salvation Army summer camps. Each year, we help more than 100,000 people get back to the basics.
Welcome back, everybody. More great action with the American Wrestling Federation Tag Team action on tap. Terry Taylor.
Yes, we do.
The team of Billy Joe Eaton and Jimmy Powers.
Well, a great young combination here in Billy Joe Eaton and Jimmy Powers. But I have a very, very sick feeling for these two young men right now. Right. Take a look at what's coming up.
Nails and the Warlord.
I think I understand what you mean.
This is scary stuff right now. I mean, this is diabolical. Nails and Warlord, perhaps the most fearsome, ferocious tag team combination you will ever see in professional wrestling. You know, Warlord was asked, how can you control a guy like Nails, and his response, who says I want to? Oh, this is going to be something else again.
Yeah, it is. And bottom line here is, all Nails has got to do is look at you bad enough, and he's going to bruise you up. He's scary, and the Warlord outweighs him by about 35 pounds. Jimmy Powers and Billy Joe Eaton have their work cut out for them, but if it's a wrestling match, they may have a chance.
I have to tell the fans I was informed Mr. Hughes apparently has not yet paid his fine to President Paul Alperstein. He's not back in the ring wars as of yet, but Nails apparently came up with the cash, and here he is in the ring teaming up with the Warlord. And has Nails changed expression for 1 second?
No, he hasn't, and thank goodness, because he's a tough guy. He's pretty scary, and with these two in there, anything can happen.
If I were President Paul Alperstein, I would polish up those glasses and get real close to the monitor or wherever he might be in the building. When you have Nails and the Warlord together in the same corner, what in the world can happen? You know what is going to break loose here. Jimmy Powers, a tremendously accomplished wrestler, and he's looking across the ring in awe at the competition.
Yeah, but I think it's more like a respect. I've been in the big wars like this, like Jimmy Powers. Big guys like that are tough, they are strong, but Jimmy Powers hasn't been around as long as he has by laying down for guys like this. I expect him to buzz around the Warlord, make the Warlord think he's surrounded by 6 Jimmy Powers, and maybe try to get him off his feet.
He's certainly going to have to do something, and as you said right there, the speed and the finesse got him out of harm's way at least that time. You know, big and strong, Terry, is one thing, but these two, particularly Nails, an absolute maniac. I mean, a bona fide nutcase. Rules mean absolutely nothing. So you couple his size with the fact that he would just as soon break your neck as pin you. Look out.
Yeah, I think if I was wrestling Nails, I'd be happy if he did grab a wrestling hold on me, because I would stave off the inevitable.
Uh-oh! Caught you. Turnbuckle cam taking you right into the ring.
Quake cam. Yeah, it looks like an earthquake in there.
Well, it is right now. Yes. I'm sure it feels that way to Jim Powers. The Warlord, absolutely massive, but that time Powers able to get out of the way, and he works on that street frog-like arm of the Warlord.
Oh, I'd have kept some distance there. See how he had the wrist and then went into that arm bar? That lets that big man get closer to you. Great move, ducked underneath, kicked in the gut twice. Take the gas tank, go on empty. Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, he's got something going at least momentarily. Over the top right for the sunset flip. That's a lot of weight.
Oh, no, not that.
Oh, he got out of the way again. Warlord drilled his fist into the mat. And Powers once again continues to work on the arm. Smart strategy. Here's the tag. They're going to try to do their best to negate the size and the strength. Oh, wow! Well, that took care of that.
Everybody in this building went, oh, and nobody louder than me and Billy Joe Eaton. He just ran into a jackhammer in a size 16 boot.
And Billy Joe is eating the leather right about now.
That was called a gut-wrench salto, and it was effortless.
Well, the Warlord and Nails certainly very unpopular with this crowd. The same story wherever they appear.
Get out from behind me, Cars. What are you hiding for?
Take a look in the ring. This man in there right now
suplex. Now he's got to lay down with him.
Oh, he maybe not like a rubber ball. He just bumped him like yesterday's garbage.
That's the Nails we know and love. He went from a wrestling maneuver right back to the Goozle pipe.
I was going to say, certainly he doesn't go in for a cover. He goes in for a choke, bites the man on the hip. Referee Gary Gronke, as we're under a half a minute right now, points to Nails and admonishes him. Good luck, Gary.
Did you say Billy Joe Eaton was groggy? Or that's Gary Gronke?
Well, either or.
We got 15 seconds left. Billy Joe Eaton's probably hoping that he's going to get pinned. He said, please cover me so I can get out of here.
Well, no question, this young man has taken a real pounding. He is going to be saved by the bell. Well, depending on how you look at it, maybe that's not the case either.
Boy, that quake cam shows you the velocity as that kid hit that turnbuckle. Gary Gronke, top of the year, standing there stopping that semi from mowing over Billy Joe Eaton.
Nails has not changed expression. He's glaring, for heaven's sake. Stay with us, everybody. We're coming right back for the continuation of this one. Are back in action. Another sold-out crowd here watching the American Wrestling Federation. And Nails picks up right where he left off with this assault.
Yeah, I think right here, this thing's got to have at least a 30-day to maybe 30-year mandatory sentence. We got that quake cam going right there. I'll tell you, this is brutal in nature and almost too much to watch. It's like a car wreck. You don't want to look at it, but you can't look away.
Well, I hope that President Paul Elberstein is not looking away. As a matter of fact, the president will be out a little bit later on. He has a big announcement to make. He didn't tell me anything about it. I have no idea that he flew you in.
Yes, he did.
Well,
that's a deep subject for a shallow mind like you. Let's get back to the action. You know, even when Nails tags you, it hurts. This guy's a machine.
I don't like the looks of this either. Does Mr. Eaton? Whoa! Good gosh! A Mack truck. Got a 1, 2, and 3. This one is over. You know, Jimmy Powers getting back into the ring right now. Just got back from a very successful trip to Japan. I think he'd like to get back on the plane.
That's a round tripper, if you ask me. Head back to Japan. Look at that mug right there. He's a big fan of yours, you know.
Nails?
Oh, yeah, isn't everybody?
No, thank you. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. What a combination as we take a look at the slow-mo.
Watch this. Textbook-like suplex, or more like a flapjack-looking maneuver. Look at this. Picks him up into a salto. I don't think these guys broke a sweat or went off their feet. Unbelievable action. And then right here, the carnage continues. Billy Joe Eaton has to be the toughest man on earth or a blocking dummy. I'm not sure.
Well, I've got to tell you something. This one was absolute destruction right from the opening bell. Let's send it right now to our broadcast partner, Ken Resnick. He's caught up with the team of the Warlord and Nails.
Most devastating wrestlers I've ever seen. In fact, the only thing that comes to mind to stop that team is a Gatling gun or more. Absolutely devastating, to say the least.
You want to know where Nails is?
To be perfectly honest, if he's anywhere but here, is fine with me.
Nails wasn't happy with the match. For now, he's back in the locker room, beating up their opponents yet. He's having a little fun. He likes it, just like I like it.
Now, Warlord, I don't know if you're aware of it. President Paul Elberstein purposely was sitting at ringside. You know, Nails has already been fined once for his actions.
Ah, he doesn't care. That's not going to stop him. He's going to do what he wants to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, all I could say is if Warlord and Nails remain teamed up here in the American Wrestling Federation, it spells nothing but doom for their opponents. Let's go back to ringside. Here's Mick Karsh and Terry Taylor.
Hey, Mick, that Warlord's the happiest guy I've ever seen, laughing all the time. What do you think about Nails? You think he's laughing?
Well, I guarantee you he's not laughing, and he does care about fines. And we just got word that Nails has been fined yet again for his actions in the ring, starting the match before the bell sounded, and then attacking the opponents in the locker room. President Paul Elberstein with the heaviest fine yet delivered against Nails. And speaking of people who don't care about rules, regulations, or anything else, she cannot LJC or proper dress clothes. This man absolutely detests to see him again. He was just introduced, I think, by Sheik Adnan El-KC. The mighty Hercules, perhaps the most powerful man in professional wrestling.
Just stepped off Mount Olympus. Look at that body.
Oh, he is huge. He is massive.
I'm pretty lucky. Back-to-back Hercules. Week after week, we get to see this same guy. Cody Hunter over there is going to be hunting for a place to go, hunting for a place to get. But Hercules, look at the size of this guy. But Hercules gets going good.
Well, Sheik Adnan El-KC has long professed to have all the oil money from the Mideast behind him in his purchases of professional wrestlers, and I'm sure he laid out a pretty penny to get Hercules. And look at this man. He's got the appearance, Terry, of somebody that you could pound on all day long and he wouldn't feel it. He's a walking building, this guy.
Well, he looks like he's been chipped out of granite. I mean, the same color and everything. This guy's fishy white. Of course, I deny it categorically if you told him I said it. But he's there. He's got the money behind him. And Hercules will tell you. He told me before, if you think I'm in it for anything other than the money, you're crazy.
Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the American Wrestling Federation in the round system. 3 4-minute rounds. This is the opening round in this one. And Hercules with that vice-like grip. And I've got to tell you something. I'm surprised that we're seeing a wrestling hold out of Hercules. Usually he's plotting and methodical.
Yeah, but this is showing you the guy can wrestle. Maybe Alperstein's finding everybody's, maybe it's working. Maybe a thug like Hercules says, I can wrestle, maybe I'll have to. A headlock by Hercules and a shoulder smash by Hercules, but his strength can be a finishing maneuver.
Well, he just about decapitated this man. Talk about getting hit with a runaway train. Look at Hercules. Oh, he beat him. Oh, he drilled him into the canvas. Now, wait a second, Terry.
Was that
He could have pinned him.
Of course he could. But this, I think, is another way of KC or Adnan El-KC. I can't even say it, it's so long. His way of making a message through Hercules. Did you see that belly-to-belly where the arm was in and the shoulder got driven in?
There's President Paul Alperstein watching the action intently. Clearly, he's affected by what he sees in the ring. Hercules is just taking his time. He's in no hurry to beat this man. Going with the crowd, as is the Sheik.
Yeah, but Alperstein was having words there with the Sheik. They're still talking. Tremendous lariat by Hercules. He knows his man's down. He knows he's hurt, and he's in absolutely no hurry to end this carnage.
Every single maneuver that Hercules has delivered has been with impact. There is not any wasted strength or power when Hercules gets into the ring. He has systematically dismantled this kid right from the opening bell.
Yeah, we got a big announcement from Alperstein coming on later on. They see him watching this. He's keeping an eye on what's going on. And, man, that got to be it.
Well, it certainly is. And not a minute too soon. This one would have been over a long time ago. And as you said, I have to believe that the Sheik is behind Hercules not pinning a man when he's ready to be beat.
Look at the reaction of these people. Great crowd response. We're getting cards and letters. And they like what they're seeing. Maybe not this guy, but they love the American Wrestling Federation. Now we see this DDT with all that power and strength. Cody Hunter is done. And now you have Hercules throwing him in that tremendous strength. Now watch this lariat. Bang to the chin. This guy is done. Hercules can do anything he wants with him. Has him in a power bomb position. Now watch how he heaves that dead weight up. Now watch him drive him down. Bang. Tremendous win by Hercules. Sheik Adnan El-KC. John with the president. I can't wait to hear that announcement.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, our good buddy Ken Resnick has the unenviable job of speaking with Hercules.
Like it or not, Sheik, Adnan El-KC's men are as devastating as ever, and certainly Hercules, no exception. But, Sheik, I'm sure it wasn't to your liking, President Paul Alperstein keeping a very close watch from ringside on your man and specifically your actions at ringside.
Well, Mr. Ken Resnick, I cannot help my action. I have the greatest wrestlers in the world, the mighty Hercules, and I promise you, I will bring more and more to destroy everybody in the American Wrestling Federation. Mighty Hercules, would you give him some piece of your mind?
You know, I don't know what President Paul Epstein's problem is. Sheik Adnan does not cheat, and the mighty Hercules does not cheat. You have never once
seen me break any rules. I might bend them a little bit, and I might change the situation around to fit my way, but that's the way I do it. That's the way I've always done it, and that's the way it's going to be done from now on.
Mick Carson, Terry Taylor with the American Wrestling Federation. In just a few minutes, Terry, I understand that President Paul Alperstein is going to be here with a blockbuster announcement. And again, I ask you, do you have any idea what this is all about?
Yeah, he's going to give me a raise.
Wait a minute. What about your partner in broadcast? Excellent.
He's going to give me a raise.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you talk about tremendous wrestlers coming to the American Wrestling Federation. Here's the debut of one of them right now. This is the Superfly. Look at this man. And Terry, I know you and I have talked many times about the attributes of the Samoan wrestlers. This guy, the king of the crowd.
Yeah, I just used the farmer's hanky on the way to the ring. Real class act here, Superfly. 5'10", 313 pounds. And how a guy that size can fly is almost like a bumblebee. The wings are too small anatomically, but they still get around. Wait till you see the agility and the flying ability of this big man.
And already he's giving the fans a little what for as he makes his way to the ring. Carrying on that Samoan tradition. Oh, already that bell just sounded, and he has mounted an offensive right now. He has taken it to his opponent right from the very onset. Oh, whoa!
He just hit Tony Ramone with a flying lariat. That's what I was talking about. He's got that low center of gravity, that huge seat of power. But I mean, did you see the way he launched himself into Tony Ramone, who is still flat on his back?
Well, you talk about high impact. You certainly saw it there. Whipped off the oh! What agility! Caught him with the savant kick right to the side of the head.
There's 2 times Tony Ramone could have been counted out so far. Let's keep a monitor on this, because this kid right now has not gotten up on his own power yet. And I'm talking about Ramone.
Oh,
See ya! Wouldn't want to be you.
Boy, he's very lucky. He grabbed that rope on the way out. Wait a second now. Superfly has grabbed one of the jaws right across the small of the back.
That's a waste of a perfectly good chair.
Where is Mr. Alperstein? Certainly, he's got to be in the vicinity of this one. And I believe I heard the bell right there, Terry Taylor.
Yeah, so I guess Tony Ramone, it's his debut. He wins on the American Wrestling Federation.
Well, it did not take long for the referee to step in there when that chair was utilized and obviously disqualify Superfly. Well, what a way to attain a victory, I guess, if you're poor Tony Ramone.
Yeah, Billy Silverman's the referee. He's trying to control this situation. I think this is exactly what Zapperstein is talking about. Guys going crazy, beating up their opponents, injuring people. He said he wasn't going to have this kind of stuff in the American Wrestling Federation. Now, he's going to have an announcement pretty soon. Maybe this is what he's talking about.
Well, other officials are trying to contain this wild man. The Superfly has lost it, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, he is a savage. I think he hurt his knee, beating up poor Tony Ramone. Man, I'll tell you, this guy's unpredictable. He's unbelievable, and he is a savage. That's pretty bad when you hurt yourself kicking somebody else. Unbelievable.
Well, what in the world does the man need to use a chair for?
Watch this. Bang! That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a wake-up call. And then he goes outside. Now watch, he becomes the chairman. No, it's not Frank Sinatra. Bang! Hits him with that chair. Unbelievable. I think he should be disqualified. We should split his fine.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to send it to Ken Resnick. He has caught up with the president of the American Wrestling Federation, Mr. Paul Alperstein.
With me is American Wrestling Federation President Paul Alperstein. And I might add, a very active president, Paul. I noticed you time and time again sitting at ringside watching whether the rules are being adhered to or not. And I think a lot of people are very happy to see you taking such an active part. But I know you said you've got a big announcement, and something tells me the fact you're holding the first ever AWF World Championship belt, that this announcement may deal with who is going to be the world champion here in the AWF.
Yes, Ken, as I said, this is the major announcement. Next week, we begin drawing for the American Wrestling Federation Championship. It is a single elimination 16-man tournament.
All right, now, Paul, let me ask you. 16 men will be in the tournament, single elimination. But you say you're going to be drawing to determine which 16 are going to be in the tournament. How did you determine who's going to be in the barrel?
There were invitations sent out to the top 50 wrestlers around the world, and the response has been tremendous already, and next week we're going to draw those responses.
All right, so next week here, we'll draw the 16 men. Now, am I understanding that all the tournament, the elimination matches right after the championship will be seen right here on television?
Every tournament match in the AWF Championship will be seen on television.
All right, there you have it. Next week, you will find out which 16 men will be in the first ever AWF Championship tournament.
Well, what a tremendous announcement from President Paul Alperstein. The AWF Championship Tournament. Did you get an invitation? You've got to be one of the top 50 in the world. I'm in the top 7. Did you get an invitation?
Yes, I did.
Let me see it.
Well, I don't have it with me. I'm here at the broadcast position with you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to action in the ring. And we're talking about the great names coming to the American Wrestling Federation. I don't mean Rico Suave. The former world champion, luscious Tommy Rich.
Yeah, you think Sonny Rogers was in that 50 invite?
Sonny Rogers, I really don't think so. He's a talented young man, but Rich, on the other hand, a bona fide star.
Yeah, Tommy Rich is. And speaking of bona fide stars, let's go to my favorite thing, the Warrior Corner.
The president of the American Wrestling Federation is wasting no time. He is looking for a champion. There has been a big announcement of a tournament coming up in the near future, and Tito Santana wants to be part of this tournament. There's a lot of competition, but Tito Santana is used to competition. I guarantee you are looking at the new champion.
Well, certainly there's a man who has to be considered one of the favorites in the tournament, Tito Santana. But again, back to the ring, and luscious Tommy Rich, how can you possibly discount the chances of a former world champ?
Well, you can't, and I think what gives Tommy Rich his edge is that little gimmick on the outside there, the fat guy in the purple. He is unbelievable. Rico Suave, he's not, there's nothing that's too low for him or too devious. He'll do anything to get that American Wrestling Federation Championship in his stable, and I think Tommy Rich is his way to it.
You know, Terry, you go back just a few years, Tommy Rich, one of the most popular stars in professional wrestling. All of a sudden, this attitude change and aligning himself with a man like Suave. What in the world happened to this kid? Where did he go wrong?
I don't know. Hey, got the fire here. Left in Sonny Rogers. Right. Go Sonny. Tommy Rich turned his back on all of his fans. Said all he wanted was the money, and all he needed was Rico Suave. He thinks that's what's going to take him to the championship. He got... Oh, man! replay showing Tommy Rich has all the tools he needs. Boom, ends up, bam, right there with a DDT. Leg straight up in the air on his head. Tommy Rich wins, and he's on his way to the championship. My prediction.
Well, that's a textbook DDT right now. Let's send it to Ken Resnick, standing by with Rico Suave.
The announcement of the upcoming tournament to crown the first ever American Wrestling Federation champion. And interesting thoughts concerning you and your family. Granted, two great stars in the family. What if only one of those would get in the tournament?
Let's get to the important thing. First off, the Suave family is undefeated in the American Wrestling Federation.
Granted,
that's first and foremost.
Granted, no question.
As far as my family being in the tournament, well, you know something? Take a look at me. Does it look like I don't have any luck on my side? Luck and the Suave family is like two peas in a pot. It doesn't matter. Both of my men will be in the tournament. Speaking of both of my men, none other than Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Well, Greg Valentine, you certainly no stranger to championships around your ways.
That's right. You know, I've had so many titles in my long, illustrious career. I can't even remember all the titles, but it doesn't matter because now it's 1995. Now it's the American Wrestling Federation, the #1 federation in the entire world. And Greg the Hammer Valentine has the chance to be in a tournament. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring the belt to the family. If not me, if I don't get it, Luscious Tommy Rich will get it. I guarantee you.
Oh, baby.
Go on down there, Hammer. You know, somebody say something. American Wrestling Federation coming your way talking about a tournament. Well, this man's been a world heavyweight champion. I've been a world heavyweight champion. You talk Sergeant Slaughter, Tito Santana, Chris Adams. Who have you beat? So what we're talking about, you know, you're talking about we can't get in the tournament. This man here, it's a drawing. This man, the money he's got, he'll make sure we're in that tournament. So Slaughter, Tito, Chris Adams, the whole stinking bunch of you, you sit back and listen, because you can bet the family's coming your way. That's right, because this is the cream, and the cream always rises to the top.
To the top of the ladder, the AWF. You ain't seen nothing like the family, baby. And here they are, right here.
Gentlemen, this next contest is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first from San Antonio, weighing 202 pounds, Trevor Blanchard.
Well, there he is, Tully's son or nephew or somebody, Trevor Blanchard.
And his opponent from Band Street, USA, weighing 250 pounds, he is the fabulous Freebird,
Well, there you are looking at tradition in professional wrestling, the Freebird tradition. And there's the leader of the gang. There's the leader of the band, Michael P.S. Hayes, here in the American Wrestling Federation.
You know who performed this song? Wrote it, produced it, sang it, and everything?
Michael P.S. Hayes.
Man, you know everything. He doesn't sing too well, but he wrestles pretty good. Big fan of David Lee Roth, a friend of David Lee Roth. Michael Hayes, you can see he's been training substantially to get ready for his debut here in the American Wrestling Federation. Got his hair just the way he wants it to be, but I'll tell you, this guy can walk, and he is double tough.
Well, with the appearance of Michael P.S. Hayes here in the American Wrestling Federation and already joined with the fans, does that mean that there will be other Freebirds following Michael into this area?
Well, if there are, run for your lives. I certainly hope not. Right here, a little bumping grind. He's getting down. He's doing the strut, doing the Freebird thing.
And now we got a little moonwalk action from P.S. Hayes as well.
Yeah, speaking of moonwalk, there's somebody I know who doesn't moonwalk. He walks in step. Let's go to the Warrior corner.
Attention, I'm Sergeant Slaughter, and I'm proud to be a part of the American Wrestling Federation. And now we're going to find out who the best is. President Paul Alberstein decided to have a tournament to see who will be the #1 man in the American Wrestling Federation. I think it's going to be me, as asked and ordered.
Well, you know, this one is getting tougher to call by the minute. How do you bet against Sergeant Slaughter in any kind of tournament?
You shouldn't, but look at P.S. get down. Sergeant Slaughter, his debut was successful. We've earned it from him a couple He hit him in a boiler, got him going. P.S. misses. Blanchard gives him kind of a weak kick.
Nothing behind it at all, and Hayes quick to follow up with that clothesline. Throws him with the knee right to the back.
I've been in wrestling a long time, and so has P.S. Hayes, and he's known as one of the stiffest guys in the industry. That guy can hurt you a lot of different ways. He doesn't look like much, but he is a tremendous wrestler, and he's got a mean streak the size of the state of Texas.
Well, he's got Trevor Blanchard in a bad way right now. He went into the snap mare and looked like he was going to go for the DET, but apparently he's not through. Just punishing this man.
He just whacked this kid on the back of the noggin. He throws him in. P.S. backdropped him. Trevor Blanchard, I swear, spends more time in the air than he does on the ground. Is that Mike Tyson?
It could very well. What a shot. Right to the side of the head, to the jaw, and this one could be over. Down 1, 2, and 3, and just like that. What a shot from Freebird Michael P.S. Hayes, a very proud man taking care of Trevor Blanchard.
Well, I don't really know what to say about that dance. Another please stop. Unbelievable victory with a punch. Not a wrestling move. I wonder if Alperstein's going to find him for that dance. He should. Bang! Beautiful elbow down on Trevor Blanchard, who is practically motionless. Back drops him into the ionosphere. Boom! Right down on that hip, which has got to hurt. This kid comes staggering up, and Michael P.S. Hayes unloads with that left hand to the temple, which is illegal, but oh so effective. Take it away, Karsh.
Take it away, Karsh. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael P.S. Hayes gets the Duke. He's victorious right now. As we watch the moonwalk, let's send it to our broadcast partner, your good friend, Ken Resnick.
Seed only one, Michael P.S. Hayes.
You know something, Captain Butt Kisser? There are some things that are going around in my mind. And number one, I am the only man that can come out and speak that women will love me no matter what I say. Because one night with me will definitely make their day. And that's all I've heard about is this alternate, this new American Wrestling Federation with these innovative ideas. Well, you knew Michael P.S. Hayes, the boy from Bass Street, USA, the innovator, the man, the originator that brought rock and roll into wrestling would have to be with this federation. And the round system, you know, I'm always into trying something new. So it is for me, but just keep this in mind. I will get in that tournament, and heaven don't want me, and hell's afraid I'll take over.
But Terry, next week, the draws for the championship tournament.
Yeah, there you see Sergeant Slaughter with that Cobra clutch. Could he be the first champion? We'll have to wait and see.
Never, ever bet against Sergeant Slaughter. Here's another possible winner. I'm talking about Coco Beware.
Yeah, tremendous move there called the Ghostbuster. He is a high flyer, and he's always got Frankie on his side.
And this man, you can't exactly call him a wrestler, more of a brawler, a bruiser. Nails, never bet against him. He's nuts.
Yeah, you bet against him. Run for your life. Tony Atlas, Mr. USA. Best built man in the American Wrestling Federation. It isn't a bodybuilding contest. It is wrestling, and he can do it all.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And speaking of doing it all, here's a tried and true veteran, the master of the figure 4 leg lock, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
With Rico Suave, don't forget. Plus, we have Tito Santana, master of the flying burrito. Bang! He hits the man right there. Never bet against Tito. Arriba!
No question about it. And this man, Mr. Hughes, who has yet to pay the fine, he'd like to be in the tournament. He better pay up.
He doesn't pay up. He's not in a wrestling ring whatsoever.
And Johnny Gunn, you know, one of the great young talents in professional wrestling, he certainly has a shot. He's capable of beating anybody.
Yeah, great young wrestler. And right there, one of the greatest wrestlers, second generation cowboy, Bob Orton Jr. can do it all, knows it all, has been there before.
And let's not take anything away from the great gentleman, Chris Adams, the master of the super kick. Certainly he has championship written all over him. This tournament is lining up to be absolutely great with the Warriors of Wrestling. And next week we're going to find out who is in the tournament. All those slots are going to be filled.
Yeah, Terry
so hard your kids will be bruised.